Since the Poetry Center came into being, we've done a few little things with the Old Town Poets, and we co-sponsored events, and we decided we would have a Dead Poets contest where we would actually give prizes, $100 for first place, I think $75 and $50, for people to come on Halloween dressed as not necessarily their favorite poet, but a poet whose work they liked, and to read a poem. We were so pleased with the number of people who showed up, because we thought we just might get a smattering of folks, but it was a wild and wonderful event.
Tonight we are here to honor our literary ancestors and to cast their verses into the air.
Well, one of the things that stuck out for me was how many people really did show up in costume and how much attention they had paid to that costume. Or some of the people who didn't dress elaborately still had some kind of iconic emblem or, something that identified them with a particular poet.
When my bones are stiff and aching and my feet won't climb the stair, I will only ask one favor. Don't bring me no rocking chair.
Estuve en tu jaula, hombre pequeñito. Hombre pequeñito, ¿qué jaula verás? Digo pequeñito, porque no me entiendes, ni me entenderás.
Light streaming out of the sky. Moloch, Moloch, Rollbar apartments, invisible suburbs, skeleton treasuries.
The power of a gun can kill, and the power of a fire can burn. The power of a wind can chill, and the power of a mind can learn. The power of anger can rage inside until it tears you apart. But the power of a smile, especially yours, can heal a heart.
Praised be man, he is existing in milk and living in lilies, and his violin music takes place in milk and creamy emptiness.
I am the people, the mob, the crowd, the mass. Do you know that all the great work of the world is done through me?
The stars go waltzing out in blue and red, and arbitrary blackness gallops in. I shut my eyes, and all the world drops dead.
I smoke and I think possibly I am the smoke, drifting through Omaha as smoke does, past the new sofas on sale, past the south view of the slaughterhouse and the shade trees flushing with light.
The ambiguity of zero in classical mathematics, no longer suiting the merchant's needs. Zero became a fixed place from which they could create the language of their art, prove the greatness of their deeds.
The subject tonight is love, and for tomorrow night as well. As a matter of fact, I know of no better topic for us to discuss until we all die.
Just the camaraderie and the conversation that was going on among people. When we took the break after the first set, before the second set, people really moved around and talked to each other, and I saw students mixing with people from the community and people from the Poetry Center mixing with people from, there was a high school student there, so I was really pleased with the way in which various poetry elements throughout the city came together for this one event.
The judges wish to convey that this has been very, very difficult because they have been delighted by everyone's performance this evening. Third prize, let's give a huge, warm round of applause for Rumi.
Anyone apart? dead. Perhaps you've read that I was an alcoholic and a lesbian with an aversion to commitment. Psychoanalysis writes all that off to the fact that my father died when I was an infant, and my mother was committed to a mental institution when I was 5. I never saw her again. For those who are interested in such things, the epitaph on my headstone in Worcester, Massachusetts reads, "All the untidy activity continues, awful but cheerful."
First place. Let's have a big round of applause for Gertrude Stein.
Now to date, now to date, now and date and the date. Who came first? Napoleon at first. Who came first? Napoleon the first. Who came first? Napoleon first. Presently, exactly do they do. First exactly do they do too. First exactly, and first exactly do they do, and first exactly, and do they do, at first exactly, and first exactly, and do they do, the first exactly, and do they do, the first exactly, at first exactly, first as exactly, at first as exactly, presently, as presently, as presently, he, and he, and he, and he, and he, and he, and as he, and as he, and he is, and as he is, and as he is, and as he is, he is, and as he, and he, and as he is, and he, and he, and he, and he.
If it were a perfect world, everyone would read a poem every day. And so I would just encourage people to try to make it a perfect world by finding an anthology of poetry or a book of poems by someone you really like, and at some point every day,